Racer blind boxes aren't sold because the grocery stores and other places that they're typically sold in across the country, yeah, those stores just straight up don't exist in the state I live in. So every once in a while, I'll check some of my local toy stores, which every once in a while will get Mini Racer blind boxes in. And I've been pretty lucky in the past year as I found a few stores, one in my mall and one about 20-30 minutes away from me, both of which pretty frequently get Mini Racer blind box waves in. And today I went to that local toy store about 30 minutes away from me and was really happy to find the most recent wave of Mini Racers, which I didn't even know were out yet, all dumped in to a little plastic container. Now I am kind of scared. As I just said, they were dumped into a plastic container. They weren't in their original cardboard box. So these could very well not be 2023 Series 4. These could be 2022 Series 4, which had the same packaging style. So I'm a little scared, okay? Either this will be my best Mini Racer unboxing video ever, as I've gotten 5 releases from the most recent wave right after it came out, or it'll be my worst as you watch the biggest blunder in my very short-lived mini blind box opening career. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Mini Racer opening video. I'm genuinely nervous. Yeah, so there are 3 new releases in this newest wave, none of which have been in the 3 packs yet. So they're all new to me and to everyone. And then there are 2 re-releases in this wave, which I'll be very happy to add to my collection. Let's move these to the back and let me find a good one to start with. We're going to start with one of those re-releases. That one's a new release. I'm not telling you guys the codes. That's a new release. That one's kind of heavy. Also a re-release. That one being heavy, I think, tips me off to knowing that this is the correct wave. Okay, we'll start off with this one, which I think... This one, I think, is the most boring. This is number 45 in the series. So let's pop this open. Come on, everybody. Please be the right one. Please. Yo! Oh, it's the right wave. Oh. Oh, I'm so happy. It's Jim Reverick. Ooh, he looks slick. Look at him. Very nice. Wow, okay. I really like how he looks. Jim Reverick is a next-gen whose design I'm really not the biggest fan of. I really like this cool metallic blue color that he's got going on, but I feel like it just blends in too much, you know? If it's under bright lighting, it's really bright and looks really cool and really nice, but as soon as you move him, yeah, that foil doesn't look as good, does it? Just sort of blends in and just kind of looks ugly in my opinion. So, I mean, yeah, not one of my favorite next gens, but the Mini still looks very, very cool. We actually got this several months before his regular 155 scale diecast. I think about a year before it, actually. And I think part of my problem with the regular one is solved with this sort of blending in. Since the car is smaller, the Carbon Saber logo takes up a lot more space and is a lot more prominent on him than it is on his regular release, in my opinion. So I think that makes it look a little bit better, but it still has that problem with the foil just looking way too dark under most lighting circumstances for it to look any good, in my opinion. I mean, it still looks fine. It's just, you know, not as exciting. Really like his expression there. Got the number 67 on the side. Really cool how that's sort of hidden behind the foil. That is really cool when you move it in the light. We've got all your typical next-gen secondary sponsors. Piston Cup, Combustor, Carbon Saber, Synergy, 67 up top. Of course, the foil ends up going onto the spoiler, and for whatever reason, maybe this is movie accurate, I'm not sure, but yeah, they didn't make the part on the spoiler foil. Of course, he suffers from the classic next-gen minis all have the same spoiler issue, which is always a strange thing. I really like how his back looks. It's pretty cool. Got more stripes there, including his rookie stripes and some more Carbon Saber logo stripes. There's a look at the other side, and there is a look at the base. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I quite like how this one turned out. Like I said before, I'm not the biggest fan of Jim's regular diecast, but honestly, I think I like the Mini quite a bit better. Like I said, him being a lot smaller means that the foil area is quite a bit more prominent, and I think he looks pretty good. I really like the shade of green on him. While Jim Reverick was number 45 in the series, our next one is number 46, another Mini that came out a few years ago, but one that I've really wanted compared to Jim, who I just sort of picked up because I didn't have him. This is a release of a pretty notable character that I was never able to get before. It is the one and only Brick Yardley. See him in there? Get on out here, Brick. There he is. Oh, he looks great. Brick was a part of sort of the initial lineup of Mini Racer blind boxes, which means I never found him because my stores never got blind boxes in until these local toy stores did in the past year or two. So I never got a regular Brick Yardley Mini, and for years I've just had his kind of awkward looking XRS variant. So it's so great to finally add one of the more significant racers in the Cars series to my Mini Racer collection. He looks great. All the Vitaline logos he should have, of course. Love the shade of green on him. We got Brick Yardley written up there on the roof. It's just so good to finally have this guy. He even has his camera molded on the back, something that the original diecast is missing. Yeah, Brick turned out really good here. Really fun. Love that expression on him. So glad he was re-released in a Mini Racer wave that I actually found. Unlike Tex. I've wanted the Tex Mini for years. He was part of, his original release was part of the only 3-pack wave that never made it to my stores, and I never found Tex. And Tex was re-released in the last wave that came with these guys, which I never found the boxes for, so now I still don't have Tex, but I have Brick, and Tex and Brick were two of my big minis I'm missing that I really wanted. Now to get Tex and Bobby, some other characters I really have to find, but yeah, love how Brick looks. I love how shiny the Vitaline logo is on him, with the logo being bigger. You know, really pops out a lot more, just like with Jim Reverick. Anyway, those are the two re-releases I picked up for this wave. Now for the ones you all probably wanted to see a lot more than these two. Alright, I'm going to shuffle these up a bit so I don't know which one is which, and then we're just going to open them. I'm not even going to look at the number on this one. Just open them up, see who we get. This is one of the 3 new releases for the wave. It is... slow dramatic opening... Speed Demon. She is number 39 in the series. Can you see that? That is number 39 in the series. And there she is. Oh, she is fun. I've been hoping for months to see a Speed Demon Mini Racer so that I could buy a duplicate of it and make it into a custom Bat car from my Bat car series. And then I forgot to do that today when I found the Speed Demon Mini Racer. She looks really good. She really just looks like a shrunken down version of the regular diecast. Definitely a notable on-the-road character I'm glad to get. A lot of her is plastic, just like on the regular diecast. Yeah, this whole part where the wheels are is plastic, and I don't know why it needed to be on a Mini. I feel like you could have maybe pulled that off with a metal mold. Yeah, it would have been pretty elaborate, but it's fine. I'm not complaining. It still looks pretty good. Of course, it carries over the problem the original diecast had of, you know, not having this part be the right color, since this is a plastic piece on the original diecast. It's gray instead of black for some reason, and that issue is continued onto the Mini, and also continued here, where on the regular diecast, they included this metallic metal silver part on her. Here, they just had it be gray plastic, so it doesn't look as good, but I really, really love how her face looks there. Really like that. We have the wings, and I love that they're in sort of more of a flying position, a bit more episode accurate than this, where the wings kind of feel landed, in my opinion. Here, they're sort of angled upwards, like she's flying in or flying away. Yeah, really solid mold on this one. Only complaint is the plastic is pretty apparent, which I usually don't complain about plastic pieces, but considering the fact that the plastic pieces are the wrong color, that's why I'm complaining. Wings are pretty stable on her. The wings on the 155 scale Speed Demon are pretty flimsy, but these seem pretty alright to me. I guess that one is moving a little bit, but they seem plugged in quite a bit better. I don't think they'll come out as easily. I simply twisted these pretty lightly to get them off when I was customizing a Speed Demon. So yeah, these seem in there pretty securely. Unless you really want them out, you could probably pull them out. But yeah, Speed Demon, looking pretty good. Our next one, let's see, now that I know the other two, I'm gonna go for this one next. Let's open this one up, and it should be, I'm terrible at opening these. Cardboard always comes off. It's Doug Crankle. What a guy. What a wacky guy that Doug Crankle is, isn't he? Okay, Okay, so confession time. I actually meant to open Doug last, but I confused numbers 37 and 38. So we're reviewing Doug now. Hey, Doug, he looks great. Wow. Very good shrunken down version of the regular diecast. Very, very similar. Of course, just like the original diecast, he is unfortunately the wrong color, but as we all know, originally the zombies in the episode were going to be gray, and then Disney changed it last minute. So now the merchandise must pay the price. That's what you get for being produced right after the show came out, huh? Or put into production right after it came out. But man, he looks good. Big, ugly, green, veiny brain looks great. I love his expression. I was a little critical on the expression of the original Doug, saying it didn't look zombie-ish enough. I think this certainly looks zombie-ish enough. Yeah, really solid and fun interpretation of the character, and a character that is just really fun to get in Mini Racers form. He is a super fun one. He's really great. I love how he turned out. That leaves only one more card, surprisingly heavy. And when I first felt this, I thought this one was Doug. That's why I got their numbers confused. But this is number 38, and number 38 should be none other than... Everyone say hello to Noriyuki. Woo! When I first saw Noriyuki's mini, I was concerned he'd be a bit too tall. But his height is actually pretty accurate. He is significantly taller than your average McQueen. With Noriyuki being a smaller vehicle, of course, there's going to be a little less difference between his 155 scale diecast and his Mini Racer. You know, Mini Racers of smaller vehicles typically tend to be the same size as those of regular vehicles. I've always said this before, but Mini Racers don't scale with each other. They scale with a general shape, if that makes sense. All minis basically have the same length and width and all that, and then they just squash and stretch and warp other characters to conform to that. But when a character is smaller, they always do try to make them a little bit smaller. You can see Noriyuki is a good deal shorter than your typical McQueen. But yeah, Noriyuki really, he's one of those minis that really just looks identical to his diecast, doesn't he? And I guess that means they did a pretty good job, huh? Shame we'll never get Sarah Cogs, because for whatever reason, the Mini Racers line has a vendetta against Pities. Love his little green visor. I love how small his wheels are compared to how big his body is. It's like they were like, oh, Noriyuki's a smaller vehicle, he should have smaller wheels. And then whoever was designing the rest of him didn't get the memo and made the rest of him really big. I don't know. I think he's cute. I think he turned out great. Got Noriyuki's race team logo there. All the scrap in the back, which are, of course, all soft plastic pieces. There's a look at the other side and a look at the base. He, of course, has, unfortunately, your salt flat white tires, but that's fine. The original had them. At least he doesn't have a white base, but the original didn't have that either. And now we've opened up all of the new Mini Racers I needed from this wave, 2 re-releases and the 3 new releases. Which one of these are your favorite? Let me know in the comments. My favorite, I honestly don't know. Out of the re-releases, I really, really like Brick. I think Jim's really cool. I don't think any of these are weak. Speed Demon's probably the weakest because of those pieces, which should be, you know, they could have just painted them black. If you had to make them plastic, at least to make them the right color. But I don't know. At this point, I'm starting to think that maybe Speed Demon was originally going to look like that. You know, maybe it was based on concept art for her, just like how there's a color inconsistency with Doug Crankle. Speaking of Doug Crankle, did not expect him to look this good. I really love this one. Same with Noriyuki. They both turned out great. I think Doug is probably my favorite from the wave. Noriyuki second, Speed Demon third when it comes to the new releases, but none of them are bad, and they're all great characters from On the Road to Get, some of which are pretty overdue, right? Yeah, it's about time we get these 3. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.